couple times I've gotten to watch you run a practice, and it's interesting. It's very high intensity. You got the two guys, it's two teams each way, competing against each other. What is your philosophy when you're running a practice?
That's a good question. Try to get better. Try to get better. I do feel like it's hard to get better if guys aren't playing hard. And Coach Brown feels exactly. That's every coach feels that way. But I think that's where it starts. Is you got to get guys to really compete and to play at a high level. Because if you practice at a pace that is unlike the game, then I don't know that you're really prepared. So I do think that's step one. And step two is trying to get guys to play with an enthusiasm and a passion and share the ball. And this group is doing that. And I'm thankful for that because not every team in America does that. And you're fortunate when you get guys that buy into those ideas. And in the last 7 years here, we've had a lot of guys that have bought into that. And it's great that these guys have too.
Nick Moore got put on the wouldn't watch list yesterday. What was your reaction when you heard that news?
Well, I'm really happy. Really happy. It's deserved, without question. I hope he's not thinking about it at all. I hope he doesn't even know. But he's certainly one of the outstanding players in the country. He deserves to be. I don't know how many are on it. I don't care, but he should be on it. So it's a great honor just to be looked at that way.
What are some of the keys to managing a long road trip like this one to Stanford?
The first one is overcoming all of our fear of flying, that mine included. I think that's the first step. The second part, one of the concerns about this game, it's a long trip, and the game is a late game. It's 8:30, I think, if I'm not mistaken, out there. That's a long, long day, and so it's easy to just lay around the room all day. You think about a home game a lot of times on the day of a game. You think you'd be so well rested. A lot of times it's a weekday. You went to class 3 or 4 hours. You might have gone to study hall. You went at 8. You're pretty busy, and then you come and you play your tail off. For some reason on the road, you got all this rest time. And you'd think guys would be incredibly, fresh. And that always is not the case, so we've got to make sure that we're going to bring that kind of intensity. And how we get that done, we will see.
You and Nick go back now 5 years, back to Illinois State. How's your relationship developed over that time?
Well, it was always great, even in recruiting. He was just such a great kid to recruit and loved his family. And we were very fortunate. Very lucky, really, in a lot of ways, to get him. And I knew early on when he started playing that he was special. He was different, he was just different. And then coming here, you're saying it's 5 years. It feels like 1.5, honestly. And we've always been close. We're always going to be close. I care about him a great deal. But you do that with that's why you coach. You care about your players. You just, you end up loving your players. So it ends up the longer, and I've coached a while now, your family just gets bigger and bigger. So think how big Coach Brown's family is, it's amazing. But no, I think the world of him, and I can't imagine now. I'm so used to he's on our team. I can't imagine next year not having him around.
He was a little under-recruited out of high school. What did you and your staff see at Illinois State when you first started scouting him?
This is a quick funny story. That the only reason we heard about it, his junior year, I get a call from a guy who I hadn't seen in 25 years probably, someone that I knew way back when. And he called me and he said, "Hey, I've only recommended 3 guys in my life, 2 before, my whole life to anybody. One of them ended up being an NFL kicker. Another one ended up making a lot of money in some sport." And he said, "I'm going to recommend one more." So he calls me out of the blue. And because I know this guy, he's a great athlete, and I know he knows players, he said, "Go look at him." So we went and looked at him and we're like, oh my gosh. But then in the recruiting, he was, recruited by a lot of the big schools, but in the end, some guys took somebody. Another school only had one scholarship. A lot of factors fell in our place right at the right time, and then he visited right at the right time. So we were very fortunate. Doubly fortunate that he wanted to come here. So it's been an amazing day.
Anything else?